realms of nutrition. Nutrition from the sea, medicine from the bees and organ meats, fermented foods, and medicinal mushrooms. What are realms of nutrition? The realms of nutrition are different aspects of nutrition that most people don't think about. Categories that, if implemented, can make huge impacts on our health. These include nutrients from the sea, medicine from the bees, organ meats, fermented foods, and medicinal mushrooms. All right, we talk about eating well on this podcast a lot, eating real food. But these are some categories that you may not know about or may not be incorporating, so very interesting to learn. Starting with nutrients from the sea. Number one is seaweeds, also known as sea vegetables. So sea vegetables have been around for eons by humans in different cultures. And for good reason. People in Japan have been documented to use them for over 2,000 years. They use it for noni wraps and sushi dishes. Sea vegetables were also used in ancient China. It was prepared for special guests and kings. Mediterranean forms of sea vegetables were used in ancient Greece, Roman times, for a variety of reasons. Also, ancient Hawaiians used it to grow kelp gardens for food, medicine, and ceremonies. Seaweed contains a compound called fucoxanthin, which is great for regulating hemoglobin A1C. This is the number one metric for diabetes and monitoring blood glucose. Now, fucoxanthin has also been shown to aid in fat loss, inflammation, cancer, and other chronic diseases. Number two, freshwater algae. So when here we have chlorella, right? Chlorella is a potent algae that is known for chlorophyll content. Chlorophyll is a potent blood builder, with chlorella being the number one source. Lutein and zeaxanthin are also found in chlorella. Now, these are powerful nutrients that protect your vision, also known as a chelator, which means that it's bind to toxic metals and substances to remove them from the body. We have spirulina with that as well. Spirulina is the most potent dense protein by weight. It's about 70% protein, and it's also known as a complete protein. According to scientists, the Earth was once a bluish color instead of green. At the time, there was a compound called phycocyanin, which promotes growth of stem cells. This compound is found in spirulina. It's also high in chlorophyll. Number three, caviar. Caviar comes from prehistoric fish called sturgeon. Now, these foods were once reserved for royalty, right? It is actually heavily prized by the Greeks and the Persians. Now, Russia is a country that really brought it to a modern market. Caviar is an excellent source of omega-3s. When we think of omega-3s, we typically think of fish, but caviar actually has 3 times more omega-3s than fish. It's also high in B12, riboflavin, magnesium, selenium, and amino acids. These are a variety of different types of caviar and different to have on a day-to-day basis. Now, even with that, the nutrition content is similar, but caviar should be preserved with something like salt and refrigeration. Medicine from the bees. Number one, propolis. Bees gather sap from trees and combine it with beeswax and saliva to create bee propolis. This is what they use to patch up the hive when it needs repair. They also use it to mummify any enemy that comes in the hive. For example, if a small animal gets in the hive for honey or a home, these bees will kill it but are not able to carry it out of the hive. So they use propolis to prevent it from any bacteria spreading around in the hive from the dead animal. Now, propolis was also used by ancient Greeks, Egyptians as medicine. And it is actually an antimicrobial and has many properties within it. And the study is actually shown to have all aspects for the immune system. Also, it's been shown to be an effective treatment for many viral conditions. Now, this is due to the powerful antiviral properties within it. Number two, royal jelly. Now, royal jelly is secreted from the glands of the worker bees. It's a thick, milky white substance that is fed to the queen bees. Now, it is meant to stimulate the growth and development. Now, the queen bee is able to have a great longevity due to the royal jelly. Now, compared to the other bees, who was used by ancient China and Egypt. Now, there's some interesting research showing how royal jelly can improve spatial learning, memory, and help protect cognitive function. It's also been proven to stimulate neurogenesis, which is also known as the creation of new brain cells. Number three, bee pollen. Bees collect pollen to create bee pollen. Now, in a protein source, it also has the power to transfer from flower to flower to carry the life cycle. Now, pollen is considered to make the male reproductive spore of the plant. Now, this has been used by the ancient Chinese and Egyptians for over 15,000 years. Bee pollen is a complete source of protein, lots of vitamins, minerals. Pollen is a 40% protein by weight. It also has all 22 amino acids. Next is organ meats. Now, organ meats have been most nutrient-dense foods on the planet, not vegetables. Vegetables are great, but organ meats are higher in nutrients and all across the board. Liver, heart, kidney may be the most valuable, but all are helpful in certain things. Now, when our ancestors went hunting, they did not just eat muscle meat. They actually would be considered a waste. They had most of them give the muscle meat to dogs. Now, when You see a lion hunt, for example, they go for the organ meats first. Now, this is for a great reason. Number one, we have liver, and liver is ranked number one most nutrient-dense food above all. It contains folate, iron, B12, A, D, E, K2, DHA, and EPA. Potassium, copper, vitamin C, CoQ10, and zinc. Now, people want to do a ketogenic diet for ketones, but you can also consume them in liver because it's the number one place where ketones are made. Now, there's also about 30 grams of protein in a 4-ounce serving, which contains all 9 amino acids. Number 2, heart. Now, beef is rich in CoQ10, magnesium, B12, phosphorus, niacin, thiamine, folate, chlorine, copper, zinc, and iron. The heart is actually the most concentrated part of the entire body with magnesium. It's also about 30 grams of protein in a 4-ounce, which is 9 essential amino acids. Number 3, kidney. Now, kidney is a great source of A, D, E, K, E, selenium, riboflavin, chlorine, zinc, phosphorus, B12, B6, niacin, calcium, and iron. Kidney actually tends to be more water soluble because it actually means that you have more often because more water soluble vitamins pass through the body easier. It contains about 30 grams of protein in 4-ounce and with all 9 essential amino acids. Fermented foods. Now, fermented foods or cultured foods have been around for a very long time. They have been used in ancient food preserving techniques to keep food fresh. Things that have a variety of culture in food, which are actually known to bacteria cultures within the food. Now, this is because fermentation is a great for the friendly flora in our bodies. Fermenting foods is inclusive to the beneficial bacteria within the food. Fermentation also keeps the enzymes intact within the food because it's also considered raw. Now, these are foods that usually have a sour taste, but you can also make them quite good. A general principle of these would be to make them and not pasteurize them because it actually kills off the beneficial bacteria. Within this, we have number 1, sauerkraut. Now, sauerkraut is essentially fermented cabbage. Hippocrates and Pliny the Elder had written about this with its health benefits, and also has first been used by ancient China when they were building the Great Wall of China to feed the workers. Number 2 is kimchi. Now, kimchi originates in Korea, which has been consumed for thousands of years, and the ingredients were cabbage, radishes, garlic, ginger, chili pepper, and Korea. Kimchi festivals also were held to annually celebrate. Number 3 is kombucha. Now, this has been ancient fermented tea using green or black tea. Now, this is originated in ancient China thousands of years ago. It later spread to Japan and Korea. Now, fermented foods are the process of creating minuscule amount of alcohol, which is getting this to make sure that the sugar content is low to avoid unwanted side effects. Medicinal mushrooms. Number 1, chaga. Now, chaga is a mushroom native to North America and Russia. It is also known as the king of mushrooms. It grows on birch trees and acts like a cancer to the tree. It gets all its nutrients from the tree itself. Chaga is an antioxidant that is the most powerful. It actually contains melatonin, SOD or superoxide dismutase, and yes, you can get melanin from food. Now, chaga is rich in source of beta-glucans. These are compounds that train the immune system with natural killer cells in particular. Now, these are mushrooms that you would want to use if your primary goal is the immune system. All right, so it has been proven to significantly decrease cancer cells and reduce blood supply to cancer cells and the tumor size. Number 2 is reishi. Now, reishi is known as the queen of mushrooms. It typically grows in the forest. In traditional Chinese medicine, it has been named the number 1 herb for everything. Reishi is the go-to. Now, this is what you would want to use for the nervous system and relaxation. Now, reishi is full of polysaccharides and terpenes, and this is designed to aid in sleep. A study published in the Journal of Pharmacology, Biochemistry, and Behavior actually showed that reishi decreased sleep latency, which is how fast you fall asleep, increased overall sleep time, including REM and non-REM sleep. Number 3 is lion's mane. Now, lion's mane is a medicinal mushroom that has a bundle of neurons, which, when growing, resembles a lion's mane. The benefits of this mushroom are vast. It has been significantly studied for its benefits in the nervous system and cognitive function. It also promotes something called neurogenesis, or the creation of new brain cells. Now, this happens because it contains many nerve growth factors and regenerative to the nerves. Now, this has been studied for traumatic brain injuries as well. There's a study showing how lion's mane grows in new brain cells and improved cognitive function. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning into the show. For more, you can head over to anthonygastella.com for articles, coaching, and other free resources. Also, if you can, leave a review for the show, let people know what you think, and I would appreciate that so much. Support the mission of freedom. Thanks for being on this mission with me, and I promise to give you more powerful, empowering, great content to help transform your life. Thanks for tuning in.